Hey y'all, hope things are cool with y'all. Hope things are working up for fishing for you. We did a little trip last week I'm going to talk about with my buddies. I'm so far behind on doing these videos and trying to figure out how to do videos and making all the fishing lures because I'm making a bunch of baits. Check out that link in the description, please, in my video, and check out Solar Bats link. Their Halloween sales going on right now. 30% off. Free stuff. Just look at the link. Click on my link. Use my promo code. Get free shipping. It's all right there. I'll be back in a second. That is just about a fine morning. BREEZY Truman Reservoir. I got me one rod of the topwater bait. That's how we'll start off. Just having some fun with my buddy Mike Harris. It's going to be a pretty good few hours till the wind comes up. Some old buddy Mike Harris, no, not Mike Carver, who I fished with last week. It can be confusing. I got too damn many Mikes. We went to Truman Lake again in our kayaks like we did a month and a half ago. I had somebody say, why would you take a kayak to Truman when you got a bass boat? Well, because we could. I love that kayak. Mike loves his kayak. And we're not doing no fancy kayaks. We're paddling. Now, Mike's talking about getting pedals. Mike's an old guy. He probably needs pedals. Whatever. It'd been handy to have them this day because you know what? It was windy. Now, everything's windy when you're in a kayak. When you're in a cork out there floating around, a bullfrog belches on one end of the lake and you're shoved off the other end. That's just the way it is. They called for 9-mile-an-hour winds that day, and I'm pretty sure it was 9 when we started. What'd we go? I'm almost like talking to Mike. Mike, where we go? Third of a mile before we started fishing, maybe, in foot tall waves. Yeah, I actually had water splash my boat every time. My boat sits flatter than his. It's a different kind of hull. It's a workout too. It ain't bad. It ain't bad for you. And I got to keep up the old man. He's got a few years on me. Fishing was not great, but we caught fish. White bass. Well, he sure come up and made it though. That's not the point of going fishing anymore. Most of the time, unless I'm in a tournament, the point is not to catch fish. The point is to have a good time. And me and Mike had a good time. Well, Mike just drew first blood. Cool. I think he's throwing a buzz bait. Awesome. I'm going to stay out here in this big timber for a little bit. There's shad out here, and I know what lives in these big trees this time of year. Look at that decent fish. So good for Mikey. It's tough to beat them old school guys. Us kids, we don't stand a chance. I'm pretty sure we both caught one keeper bass each. We were bass fishing. That's the funny thing about this whole deal. My buddy Mike, both of them, have not bass fished since the 80s, early 90s. I mean, serious bass fish. They're crappie fishermen, white bass, whatever. Fishing with grandkids. All the good stuff, the groovy things that folks ought to be doing instead of knocking themselves out trying to catch a black bass. I don't know if it's all totally my fault. But Mike Harris, who I'm fishing with on Truman in this video, a couple of years ago watched a video. I was spanking him on a spinnerbait in one of my ponds, big old 5-6 pound bass. And he told me that next time he come in the restaurant, it made him go tie a spinnerbait on and go somewhere and catch some bass. And now he's bass fishing. He called and said, you want to go fishing? Or he asked me about it. I said, you want to go crappie fishing? No, I want to go bass fishing. Mike Carver, my old buddy Mike, watching my YouTube videos and takes his grandson out wanting to catch some bass, and that's been a year and some months ago. Now he just wants to bass fish. Well, we crappie fish too, but these guys are kind of back in the thing it was 40, 45 years ago. It's hilarious to a degree. But anyway, Mike and I fished Truman for 3.5, 4 hours. Half of that was probably spent paddling around. And the wind, that 9-mile-an-hour wind, when I come home, I got back up on the highway heading to the nearest town, and there's a flag on a flagpole, and it's not one of them little ones. It's one of them, 4 or 5 foot long. It's almost standing straight. Now, I think that's 15 to 20 mile an hour winds, and it felt like it. Matter of fact, we had to quit. Mike's over getting blown around by the bank from tree to tree to tree because Truman's got standing timber. There's just no point in it. I was staying out a little further, and I'm still hitting things, and hard to set up your cast. You got to be careful with a kayak, besides the safety part. But you have to really think ahead. I keep a rope with me. I tie it to trees twice. Just put a loop around a tree to fish a spot. The best part about the kayak is you work things out. You have to. You have no choice. You can't fire up and go a couple miles down the lake or 50, whatever. So we caught some fish, caught a couple keepers. Mike caught his on buzz baits, and the whites started catching white bass too. We could have caught a bunch of white bass, I believe. The whites were on this one little point. That would have been fun, but we was trying to catch the blacks. That guy here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. He caught his on buzzbait and had several missed fish, and I caught mine on a swim jig. Oh, come here, girl. You ain't. Oh, man, maybe you are that big. She thinks she's big. That's a keeper-sized largemouth, Mike. Look at that. And I threw a worm some. I threw a buzzbait. I started out with a chug bug, and the fish really weren't biting real well where we was at anyway. But we still caught some fish and had a great time, and that's all that really matters. If I keep trying to tournament fish, I have to accept I'm not always going to have a great time, at least catching fish. You don't have to catch bass to have a good time, especially when you're with a buddy like Mike Harris. Mike, thanks for asking me again. Appreciate it. He said if we wanted to go real bass fishing, let him know he'd go with me to Bass Pro. I said, dude, we are real bass fishing. This is real as it gets. God bless you guys. You got the links in the description. Appreciate it. Hope y'all have a friend like I have. I have several of these guys. They're just a blast to be around, and they put up with me. And that's something my wife don't hardly do anymore. Talk at y'all later.
Think that I would have dried out.
Yeah, you're a fashion statement.
Wind blowing, but it didn't.
You know, nobody's gonna miss you. 40 years ago, right now, you had your Skeeter, your 175 Mariner, right now. Would you have thought about having a kayak at that time?
No.
How come?
It just never occurred to me to do something like that.
But nowadays, you couldn't think of not having a kayak.
No. I've had 7 kayaks.
7. Yeah. So I was thinking the same thing. I was too good, too stuck up, whatever. We'd had to fight the wind. Yeah. Things sure change when you get older, don't they?
When I sold the Skeeter, I bought a pond boat, and I fished Truman for 87. I bought the Ranger in 97, so I fished Truman on with a pond boat for 10 years.
Didn't struggle too much, did you?
No, I caught more fish than I ever caught.
More bass, there you go.
That I ever caught out of that Skeeter.
And there's the
Ranger.
story about a bass boat and a kayak.